Just pull him back. Hi there. This is Spotty Cat, which is me and Sue and that pussycat wherever she's gone. And okay, let's get into this. First two things I've got here. Well, let's concentrate on my favourite thing that I bought this week. These cost me £1 on Abergavenny flea market at something like 2:30 in the afternoon, when surely all the treasures should have gone by then. These are, I don't know if you can catch it in the light, they are a pair of cut steel scissors. In the middle, I don't know if Sue can catch that, they say warranted forged steel. These are approximately 1800, maybe 1810. I always think of polished steel as being Regency. They did a lot of fire irons and fire guards that were polished steel. I can never cease to be amazed at the fact that this is still bright steel. It isn't rusted. Steel relates to the carbon content that you have, but do you know, all that decoration on that is cut steel, it's engraved, it's cut out the sides. They're just beautiful. I just love them to bits. And do you know, I don't know if you can see this, but they cut like a dream. I mean, these scissors are 120-year-old. I mean, you know, they're £1. That's cheaper than the pound shop for like a, you know, scissors with plastic ends on. Yeah, I know, Sue. And anyway, I do believe they were my favourite things. Other side, same amount of work. Absolutely love those. Absolutely love those. And so let's moving on a couple of centuries. This is a Pendelfin, and Pendelfins were made in, do you know where they're made, Sue?
No.
They were made in Burnley, in Burnley, Lancashire. It's recount in Lancashire, you should know that. But anyway, he's called Dodger, so yeah, you know, little mushroom bum.
Devon.
And I did have a bit of a problem collecting Pendelfins. Oh, he's winky one eye, and he says stuff on the bottom, and I can resist him. I know, it was a bit of an indulgence. And anyway, he's Dodger, the Pendelfin rabbit. I used to collect them. I got rid of all my collection, and am I going to start again? Oh, there's a couple in the centre I can't live without. Oh, Sue, right, I'll just grab something else as well. And what should we do? I think we'll do these. Now, what I always have loved about, you know, things and how they are is when I get things I've never seen and or are totally unusual. And I never did see curtain rod tins. I don't know, you'll probably remember them, those flexy bits of wire with plastic on and hooks on the end that we used to hang all our curtains up with, and they were pretty hopeless, really. Sagged a bit, had to put a nail in the middle, but obviously, you know, the curtain rod must have come out of there. Not too sure what the second hole was for. This has got a paper surround. You know, the top isn't in such great nick. How did the paper surround just survive so well? But when you see its cousin down here, I mean, you know, my lovely curtain rod box, in a shade. The graphics on this just beyond rustless expanding curtain rod, and so on. So who knows, they must have made that out of some sort of stainless steel or something. I don't know, really, maybe brass, but no, something that still had a bit of spring in. Again, it's got its two holes in. Don't quite know why. He's got a measurement going all the way around the side, and it is rustless, made in England, Pandora's curtain rod box. So basically, you know, I'm ever so glad, because this doesn't have a lid on it. You can't take it off, because I'd be scared stiff opening Pandora's box. I've read the story, so you know, so that in its own sweet way is very, very lucky. Now, further on, gripping piece of blowing paper. Whoa, you don't get that on the Antiques road trip, I tell you that. These, sentimental for me, but also beautiful. This is what I would call a referee's whistle. It's Halix. It's made in England before we exported slave labour and pollution and blamed everyone else. And this on the other side is just a commemorative shoe. It's got a couple of nicks on there. That is, I think is that Queen Alexandra, it said, with the 7th misses, isn't it?
Yes, it says so underneath.
Oh right, does it? Yeah. And no doubt there would have been a boot with him on as well.
Yes.
But I was sentimental for these. One of my neighbours gave these to me. And I've had some lovely little bits and bobs, but I think the garage is finally swept clear, and so anyway, you know who you are. Thank you ever so much for these, and they fab. I mean, really, I can live with that. And there is a referee somewhere who, they don't have VAR everywhere. Was he that? Always trying to steal the show, isn't she? Do you know what I mean? I know. Let's take these away. I'll leave these and bring something on. It stops the paper blowing away, doesn't it? This I loved. It's British. I mean, wouldn't you just swear that was going to be West German? But it isn't. It's British, hand thrown, beautiful glaze. It's got this sort of tin type luster reflection on here. It almost looks West German lava glaze, but turn him upside down, and hope it's the right way up.
No, it's not.
It isn't. I'm not the right way up, or it isn't, one of the two. And I stand on my head, is that easier? And this is Guernsey Pottery from the Channel Islands. Isn't it just, I love the glaze. It's got a little nick on here, but it's as it was made, which is always acceptable with us. The little chip is underglaze. I love that. That is so fab retro. You can feel the lines where it's been thrown and so on. And while you dwell on that, I'll grab something else. And grab these two. Let's get into the flippancy of toys, which are just interestingly in the bottom of another expanding curtain rod box, but I didn't have a top for that one. And anyway, inside here we've got a smart car. If I'd had a smart car, I could live. He is so tiny. Look how small he is. And so, I don't know if he's in scale, because smart cars were so. Oh, wouldn't you just love that? I cannot remember. It actually says something underneath, Sue. I cannot remember. It says licensed by Smart Car. I think that. Somewhere on it. Yeah, that's okay. We'll let the young ones, tell us in the comments. Do we have any young people?
No,
And anyway, ram. And on we come here. And although just personally,
C3PO.
No, it's Mr. T.
It's not.
This is Mr. T. You don't know nothing. He's Mr. T out of Aquanauts. Yeah. Do you know, I couldn't remember his name. But you don't get as many as these as you do the R2D2s. That's the one you don't get. You get much more of. He's Star Wars. Do you know, I am one of those people who I actually really have never watched a Star Wars film ever.
No.
I've never watched a James Bond film. And anyway, on his feet on the bottom, and I meant to try and remember. I do believe he's probably got Hasbro and a date. Do you think we've got that in at all?
We have now, but I can't see what it says.
No, I'll try turning him up that way, and I'll turn him up that way, and I'll turn him up that way, and then if anyone is desperately interesting,
right,
then anyway, he's a
C3PO.
He's not. He's Mr. T. He's Mr. T in a suit. Don't listen to Sue. And he's got to go off and help all the other people in the A team. Oh dear! It's time to put the milk bottles out. Oh, and back, once more, one of the favourite bits for you, I know, is scraping labels off, and which this is £1.50. I'm not trying to hide a price, but it destroys the aesthetic a bit, so I put my hand over it. This is Collins Brothers telephone. Is that sad?
Yeah.
4295.
That's because it's raw and unpasteurised.
Yeah, really, you want that to be the Samaritan's number. Sad.
Dr. House Farm.
I know, Dr. House Farm. Scouthead. I don't know where Scouthead is at all. I truly don't know, and I was going to look it up. When I lived up in Lancashire, near Chorley, we actually had green top milk from the farm in the little village we lived in. A bit dangerous for TB. One of my aunties, who I never met, died of TB when she was 8 years old from unpasteurised milk. But that was a life in the past. And God rest her soul. And now we'll have something else that is it's just such a classic image. This is Bubbles, which was used as a advertising photograph image, magazine image. It's not a photograph. I think it's Millet that painted this.
So John Millet.
Yeah, John Millet, a pre-Raphaelite painter, and this is a small version. I've not seen this. They're usually very big, and the frame is just absolutely lovely. The bosses on the side, the gilding on it, and I'll turn him over so you can see the back. The paper's gone. Probably someone took him out to clean him, or even check that there wasn't an even better picture underneath, or £5 notes or whatever else. But he's really sweet. I think we've got to get a few more things ready, and we're going to take a bit of a break, and we're going to play you a bit of music.
He's a working man, he's got no choice, he's got bills to pay, he's got mouths to feed, and he'll do what he'll do, do whatever he has to do, 'cause he's a working man, he'll do whatever he can, he's a working man, he'll do whatever he can, oh, he'll flip a burger for you, he'll dig you a hole. If he needs to feed his kids, I guess he'd sell his soul. 'Cause he'll do what he'll do, do whatever he has to do. 'Cause he's a working man, he's a working man, he's a working man, he'll do whatever he can.
Well, this is one of my little beefs, really. This is about you can buy such beautiful plates and so cheap. Flatware has always been a little bit hard to sell, as they say. I've got a plate here. This was £3 from Abergavenny Flea, and I imagine that's early Vicky. It could creep into Georgian. I'm going to flick him over. I don't know the name of the pattern. I'm going to flick him over. He just says stone china on the back. You can see the little marks where the stands. Can you remember what they used to call the stands? The little pointy pottery things they used to separate plates. Anyway,
Stands.
the stand. Yeah, I know. Anyway, my beef is why don't people buy plates like this to eat off of that are so interesting? We've seen this before, but it's classic. They don't all have to be ancient old if that isn't your taste. I mean, this is just stunning. Royal Albert. I did pay £2 for this from the community charity in Abergavenny, a fabulous place on the corner by Morrison's if you're there. And Royal Albert sunflower on the back. But as I say, he was £2. Beautiful. This little side plate. I cannot remember. I'm going to flip him over just quick, Sue, because okay, so he's a Delft pattern, and I think he's Fenton. He's got, if you can see this lozenge up the top here, which isn't very plain, that is a registration date mark, which means it's pre-1883, so 1882 backwards. Lovely little decorator's mark on the back of here as well. Unit 3 in Trecastle Antique Centre, £1. Ping, ping. You know, come on, people, save our planet. Buy old plates, they're cheaper than new plates, and just so interesting. Here is the same pattern, Delft. It's on a small dinner plate, side plate. But funnily enough, this one is made, well, F&H. I don't know who they are with the B on. I should have looked them up. Made in England, and we suspect a little bit later. Again, though, that was £1, or I might even have got 3 for £2. This again was £1. This I think is. I think he's 1930s, I think, but he could very well. No, I had actually ideas he was perhaps a bit older. I think that's Royal Cauldron, Bristol Ironstone, Bristol Garden, England. I'm not too sure that he isn't. That isn't maybe closer to 1900 than I'd think. And then over here we have a absolute classic bit of Staffordshire porcelain, although they made this for a Welsh market. It's called Welsh Gaudy, and this was particularly made for the Swansea area. It's called Swansea Cottage, and beautiful. This is genuine old Allertons. Were producing them with names on the back around 1900, but I suspect this is more 1860. All hand painted, and in its own way, you know, quite bizarre. I'm just going to go and get somebody else to talk about soon. I'm going to pop this underneath here so it doesn't blow away, and I'm going to cart those out of the picture, and I'm going to grab some little things, and shall we start with a tritis thing? Though I did mean to clean it all off. This is a lighter. I don't know if Sue can see. I think it's electronic, and it has a little spark, and it still goes across. But no, it can't be. It's too old to be electronic. And no names or makers or anything on it. It's obviously used a fair bit. I suspect novelty lighter like this, I think it's 1960s. I think that this is Japanese. I love the image on the back. I should have taken all this gunk off of there. And people collect lighters. People collect things to do with gambling and playing cards. Anyway, he's a nice lighter. And I thought I'd show you these two. These are the classic little glass paperweights. And lovely things to collect. Sometimes they're not cheap, like 8 or 12 quid or something like that. But the images that they have on them. Oh, so sorry, Sue. This is Wells Cathedral, and I've had that on my shelf for ages. I just brought it along as a companion for this one, which says it's a fairy or something like that, watermill, and the image on this is as interesting as anything, but the quality of the actual glass paperweight as well. Pull him back a bit to focus. That's it. It's not it's not it's not
No, it is.
It is
It's
no, it isn't.
No, it's Laxey in the Isle of Man. That's Laxey
Oh,
water
right.
wheel in the Isle of Man.
Yeah, that's right. It says it.
says
Yeah, it does say it. Yeah.
It's not nothing to do with fairies.
Yeah,
spoilt it now,
yeah. Anyway, I used to love
Isle of
that.
Man.
I used to love this a few moments ago, and I thought it was wonderful. Nice backing on the back, nice age, I'd say usually I just say anything under £5. I did pay £4 for him, but apart from the fact I think he's fab, it was the same stall in Abergavenny Market that I bought the cut steel scissors off of. And finally, out of this lot here is something else, which again came off of Abergavenny Market, and bizarre to me. Should I turn him up that way or more that
flat.
way?
Just leave him down
okay.
flat.
And he's silver on copper. He's he was £1. The image in the middle, I think, is it's definitely sort of Central American, Mayan, Aztec. I suspect Mayan. The Aztecs were only around for about 200 years for a start, because first the Mexicans and then primarily smallpox completely wiped them out. And but anyway, this is silver on copper. It was £1. On the back of it, it says Plata, something I can't read, which might be numbers, and then maybe SN Raface or something like that. We do like things that are signed. We are a little bit pathetic that way. Anyway, from what I find, silver on copper, Central American, beautiful. It's got to be maybe 1940s, maybe 50s, 60s, and obviously tourist decoration. Whoa, we're blowing all over the place. I'll leave it there to keep things down. And then we have got 8 minutes. Wow, I'm hurrying up. That's 8 minutes on top of the suit. We're almost run out, aren't we? I'm just gonna do it. Read it, because we've got a frog. The last thing we're going to show you is a piece of pottery full of holes, which you put flowers in. But he is 1930s. He's that classic sort of green glaze. You get a lot of bowls that are missing frogs, flower frogs, and so it was nice to gather this. We don't want to make this run into the middle of next week. So myself and Sue and Spotty Cat are going to say ta-da for now. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Hey Sue, is it bye-bye from Sue?
Bye-bye from me.
Bye-bye from Sue. Okay. Ta-da, folks.
He's a working man, he's got no choice, he's got bills to pay, he's got mouths to feed, and he'll do what he'll do, do whatever he has to do, 'cause he's a working man, he'll do whatever he can, he's a working man, he'll do whatever he can. Oh, he'll work on the checkout, he'll drive a truck, I guess he'd rob a bank if he's out of luck, 'cause he'll do what he'll do, do whatever he has to do, 'cause he's a working man, he'll do whatever he can, he's a working man, he'll do whatever he can. Oh, he'll do what he'll do, do whatever he has to do.